What up? Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know what it's given today. Y'all know we always play homage to Zay. Shouts out to Zay.
Loyalty, a lie when you ain't never. Loyalty a lie when you ain't never really trust nobody. I got plans for me, you ain't here, I guess you in it. Sin, keep rumbling the trauma like I'm Tyson. Been through all the drama, baby, I ain't tryna wife you. Cause you know this shit been over with.
You know, it's always somebody who's desperate to help out.
You know this shit been over with. My time been running out. Moving on my own, I know that I can never prove wrong. Baby, that's why I go in the booth and go and make these songs. So the bitch be careful with me, yeah. Ain't never tripping about your ex situation.
One thing about us secure women,
treat me like I'm more than that. I'm coming straight up out the mind. I'm still with it if I gotta break a bill with you. Still with it if they decide to burn the bridges. Don't put it on the floor. Do you even know the cause? Praise God, cause he gon' give me more. I told him to be careful with me, yeah. I'm the one that get you bitches turned up on the weekend. Tired of being the one that's always there when they don't got nobody. I know she ain't leaving, she just want me feel her heart. Want me feel how she feel, just tryna leave a mark.
You always gonna leave a mark, especially you are who you are.
Moving on my own, I know that I can never pull wrong. Baby, that's why I go in the booth and go and make these songs. I told her just be careful with me, yeah. And never tripping about your ex situation. Just treat me like I'm more than that. Treat me like I'm more than that. Ain't nothing like your ex situation.
What she say is always
so much more to the story, but I really don't wanna get in that.
Get into it.
Shit to pull wrong and maybe give him swag. Talk about my future cause it's coming fast. You know you thinking wrong if you ever thought I was last. In love with all my bitches, even ones that's doing bad. Why should I do this since when they push me to that? I feel like they just want me to crash. But this ain't that, so yeah, for sure I gotta keep it G. Keep it street, keep it G, forever rolling with my peace. I've been this way since they enrolled me in elementary. I feel like they just want me to crash. I'm on the way, you know this SRT swerving and out. Ooh, 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 ooh. It's always good vibes with me, sometimes I act a fool. Ooh, still proving wrong. Ooh, right back in my zone.
No, you cannot. A hater will be a hater, okay?
Loyalty a lie when you ain't never. Loyalty a lie when you ain't never really trust nobody. I got plans for me, you ain't here, I guess you ain't nowadays. Keep rumbling the trauma like I'm Tyson. Been through all the
A lot of people, they out here rumbling trauma anyway. So, you know what I mean? You ain't gotta prove nobody wrong. Just prove you wrong. Always remember that. But welcome back to Perspectives with Your Highness Da Don. We will unpack a real talk about real human behavior and relationships and life complexities. I'm your host, Your Highness Da Don, and today we're going to dive into a topic that hits close to home for many. Why do some women constantly attack other women, even when those women are clear they don't want any part to do with them? Let that sink in a little bit. Why do women attack other women when they make it clear, hey, I want no part of you? None. Not a conversation, not a look about. I don't want anything to do with you. Your opinion means nothing. What you say means nothing. Leave me alone. What's really going on in the mind of someone who keeps coming after a person? And like I said, I always use myself for an example, because if you can't turn a reflection, you can't turn a mirror on you, how can you be out here giving your perspectives nor your opinion to anyone? Now, segment 1, the root of repeated attacks. First off, the behavior often isn't about the other woman at all. It's about something deeper inside that attacks that woman's insecurities, fear, or feelings of being powerless. Sometimes attacking another woman may feel a way of them to claim security or control, or for them to boost their own self-esteem when they're feeling frightened and overlooked. Psychology has shown us that social competition amongst women isn't new. is influenced by cultural messages that pits women against each other for limited resources, rather if it's attention, respect, or status. Sounds like a person I know. And why does it sound like a person I know? Because my whole thing is, sure, backlog. You guys been paying attention of what's going on. As a grown adult, how many times have I said, hey, yo, get your girl. This isn't normal. Get this girl. I have no desire in like respecting all community guidelines and standards. If a woman constantly emails you, if a woman constantly make fake pages on social media to bring on like basically like a hateful, negative like outlook to you, isn't that kind of what I just said? It's a culture difference. A woman who's secure about herself, who's secure within her own person, meaning career, meaning what she done this far in life, accomplishments, going to college, obtaining a degree, having children, having their own family, being secure within their looks. Them type of women is not out here constantly attacking someone that's saying, hey, yo, I don't want to be bothered by you. I don't care to have a conversation with you. Your opinion means nothing to me. Respecting all community guidelines and all that, this is why, like yesterday, I started off with speaking in terms of social media and their community guidelines and their community guidelines for spam, impersonation accounts, all of that. Like my whole thing is, as a woman, hold on, impersonation. Here we go. As a woman, the last thing you should be out here doing, especially if your intention is to be with a man of a woman, is to be with a man that has children with another woman, you should want to very much play nice because, again, going back to that need for that person to feel secure because of their insecurities, I mean, it's totally disturbing. And again, jumping back to Meta, who owns Instagram and Facebook, like I explained to you guys yesterday, this woman has about 3 impersonation accounts of me. And again, we're all adults here on Perspective with Your Highness Da Don, so we all have common sense. Nothing is implied. If a woman is constantly online trying to shame not only my person, but again, my resume, what stands behind me, meaning my career, what I've done this for as a parent, as a woman, all of that. If I'm going up against a community worker, whereas though I don't care to compare myself to a community worker, and a community worker, I'm not talking about somebody that's outside hauling trash. I'm talking about a community worker in the adult industry that all they did was take their clothes off for their career. All you did was take your clothes off. You don't even have anything. You don't have, the big degree behind you. You don't have anything. So I have to constantly be attacked because of your life choices? Yeah, I think not. But let's jump into what it means to impersonate somebody, because I truly believe on all of my segments, we need to point out how Meta, which is the owner of Facebook and Instagram, allow this specimen, and I'm not going to call her human, I'm not going to call her a woman because she's not. Meta, formerly known as Facebook, that's who owns Instagram as well, actively combats impersonations on its platforms, removing fake accounts and fake profiles that mimic public figures. Impersonation is a form of identity theft and can be a serious issue. How many times do I have to report, and not even just me, my friends, my family members, how many times do we have to report that this specimen, she made a whole Facebook about me. Now, mind y'all, it was like, to me, it's either being married or being single. The girl made a whole fake Facebook account saying I'm divorced, put all my personal information on there, and again, soliciting me to be raped, GRAPE, because we don't want to be flagged, and robbed, and again, soliciting me for prostitution, and we all know what that is too. Again, that good old thing that I talked about yesterday, your accomplishments as a human, your resume. If that's shorty resume, why do you keep on placing me on pages and websites that I never actively signed up for myself? But again, it goes into exactly what my first segment was, the root in terms of the repeated attacks and repeated behavior. She's looking for a sense of security. So because she's looking for that sense of security, you want to constantly stalk and harass me? Why the avoidance can sometimes fuel the attacks. Now, this specimen, I'm going to drop my Patreon too, because I'll upload them all on my Patreon. This specimen also, like I said, on top of her creating those fake profiles, she aggressively emails me. Now, even when she started off with sending me DMs, I don't care to respond to the DMs because they say you're not supposed to speak in terms of what's beneath you, as in what you'll do. I feel like in terms of me, I healthily go back and forth, which means if I'm going back and forth with a woman and we're arguing, regular adults with things to lose, and we're not just talking about materialistic things, we're talking about our children, we're talking about jobs, we're talking about licenses. If you have stuff to lose, as a woman, you're going to argue in a safe space as a woman, and then you're going to let it go. However, this specimen that's been an adult entertainer, community worker, whatever you want to call someone who takes their clothes off and for a living, you know, and do the things that they do in low grade strip clubs, whatever you want to call those people. I mean, those are those people. But at the end of the day, once those people jump into relationships with normal people, I truly believe my soon-to-be ex-husband, it was his obligation with ensuring that she knew how to act accordingly. Because at the end of the day, there was time frames, and I'm going to post that on my Patreon as well. There was time frames to where I sent him messages, and I was like, hey, yo, get this girl. Like, because at the end of the day, the way how I'm thinking of things is, bro, we still going to have to figure it out. Like, and this is why I said yesterday, his attorney wants to separate this specimen's behavior from my soon-to-be ex-husband, but it's like, bro, a lot of the information that she posted online, she got it from you. He tried to imply, oh no, she went through my phone and got it. But my whole thing is, in our 30s, if a woman is going into your phone and she's posting things online or taking things from you, because this is what he wants his attorney to believe, this is what got communicated to my attorney, you need to A, figure out how to deal with your specimen, or B, you need to nix it off, because clearly there's psychological issues that have not clicked just yet. But segment 2 was why avoidance can fuel more attacks. Now, you might think ignoring or avoiding the attacker would make them stop, but surprisingly, it doesn't. And sometimes it does the opposite. When you pull away from the attacker, they might see it as a rejection and as a challenge, which can trigger more aggression, whereas though they want to do more things to break you down or to tear you down. I mean, for the most part, I blocked this girl on every platform. That still didn't stop her from assaulting me. It still didn't stop her from calling the police to my house. It still didn't stop this specimen from posting my driver's license, birth certificate, posting my child next to a complete stranger and saying that was his kid. Whereas though, as in the ad though, if my soon-to-be ex-husband thought his child wasn't his child, we're still in court, and there's a paid for DNA test. And it's like, at the end of the day, if you're in a relationship that you, in her mind, she's thinking this is going to be long lasting. I don't understand how long lasting she believes it's going to be, because she has warrants. She has warrants. And there's different organizations, because again, the different things that she done, of course, like when I was reporting them, I'm reporting them so that they could be clustered together. Posting my identification, that's one thing. Posting my job information, that's another thing. Calling the police to my house, that's another thing. Her assaulting me is another thing. She only has a warrant for 2 of the things: the constant stalking and the assault. However, the calling the cops to my house and everything else, like, it's different ways in how they have to do it. And I mean, she's going to find out about that sooner or later, and so will my soon-to-be ex-husband, because I forget what they said earlier. I was speaking to the DA down here, but this is why they had to get the online crimes unit division involved, because again, as adult, if I say, hey, yo, I don't care to talk to you, why email me? If I say, hey, I don't care to talk to you, why have your friends email me? Or come onto my page DMing me? Well, however you want to say it. Why text my siblings? Why do any of those things? Why call my other kids' fathers? This is why I say it's a deep rooted issue, and it's crazy because I'm speaking with the district attorney office of San Antonio today, and they're like, there's so many different levels and layers to like this woman's level of stalking. Like, we have to just handle it of a different, of a different caliber. And it's like, to me, honestly, I feel like I see a lot of things on TV, on social media, even on the news, of the crime rates of domestic violence and everything like that. But it's like, dealing with a woman who does not have an identity, and the extreme measures of which she's going through to what they always say, misery loves company. But I don't care what level of disturbance you try to bring in my life. I just feel like it's a hurdle. One thing about life is going to throw you hurdles. This hurdle, once this lady is locked up, I'm never going to have to worry about it again. But this is why I'm going to stream like this, and this is why I'm bringing this awareness to a situation like this, for not just me, but for young girls and other women out there like me. I don't know what's this new term when women think, oh yeah, I'm finna go clock her tea, I'm finna go argue with her. Your opinion is your opinion. My opinion is my opinion. As adults, you're allowed to have separate opinions. Where the clash comes in at, and where it becomes a mental case, is when a woman can't respect that. I don't respect your opinion. I don't respect nothing about you, and I don't care about your opinion. Leave me alone. Mind your business. Stop speaking in terms of my children. Goodbye. But again, if we jump back into those meta rules about hate speech, spam, and impersonation account, this woman has so many fraudulent things going on her page, and in her head, some way, somehow, she thinks it's going to be a breakthrough for her behavior once she gets caught. And it's like, girl, you're not. Is actually proving exactly what I've been saying this entire time. But segment 3, projection and emotional triggers. What really is wow is that behavior is like, it's like a projection. The attacker is often projecting their own pain, jealousy, self-doubt onto the other woman, instead of facing their own issues, and instead of lashing out on other people and trying to actually go get help to see what's wrong with them and realize why they are the way they are and why they have these life struggles, they tend to attack people. Now, let me cook for a little bit on here. This specimen called me Thomas the Train, Lord Farquhar, Bad Body. This woman called me so many names all year long. Then when her photos came on social media, I guess she was celebrating her anniversary, which I don't understand how you can have an anniversary with a married man. Like, that's one thing I never would want to be known for, is being a homewrecker, but let alone a homewrecker that gave out an STD and and a stalker. I would never want to be known for that. However, she posted photos of herself with him online, and it's like, when the photos got back to me, I was like, that's her? I said, yo, this girl been calling me names all year long. And it's like, what makes it sick and make it psychotic, and this is why I feel like growing up, the old heads that was around me, and when I say old heads, I like, they're just older people that guided me, because I grew up without a mother. And I mean, I'll get into that another day. It's not the topic for today. Like I said, these segments are going to be 30 minutes long. We're going to post more every day just to get Instagram, TikTok back up to where it needs to be. However, when you sit back and you think about it, I never called this girl a name. Like, one thing about Your Highness Da Don, Unicorn Don, or Nelly Nella Don, whichever, personality I'm in for that moment, I only talk about a woman looks when they constantly attack my looks. Because here's my thing. What's beautiful to me may not be beautiful to him. What's beautiful to her may not be beautiful to you. But that does not give you the right to call someone a name, to constantly make fun of someone's person. And it's like, not for nothing, this is why I say you got to watch who you have kids with. And like, I know it's a cliche, and I know adults say it all the time. However, my kids don't look like my ex-husband. My kids look exactly like me. So to be on social media and you're talking about my child belongs to someone else, but then when this information is being placed towards my husband, not just towards my husband attorney, random people off of social media says something to him about it. That's posted on my Patreon as well. He tries to act like, oh, what? She didn't say this. She didn't say that. This specimen posted a whole thing about Jerry Springer. Whatever it was is immature. She's in her 30s. And again, if my ex-husband felt any need to get a DNA test, that's him and I business. But again, my husband is more so African American. He's darker toned than me and everything. I'm more fair tone. My kids are light, curly hair, that type of nature. Like one of my sons are like a little bit lighter than me, real thick curly hair. My other son is about like the same complexion as me, but he has more fine straight hair. But again, just because my kids aren't more on the mocha side of being African American, that doesn't give you the right as a woman that's claiming, oh, this woman is jealous of me. Whereas though for the longest, a lot to you not, even when it comes down to the attorneys, the girl resume consists of twerking. I twerk online for fun. And that's just because I paid 30 bands for my booty. But would I ever go online and talk about the fact of how she look, how her ankles look, how her face look, or anything like that? No, I only indulged in that when her pictures came out, and I was like, you're horrendous. Like, you should stop calling names. Nobody even taught me that if I didn't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. But somebody should have taught her that. Anywho, last segment, how to protect yourself. I do not agree with how my show notes was written for how to protect yourself. In a situation like mine, in terms of how to protect yourself, I feel like if you notice a woman starting to throw indirect jabs, if you have children with them, especially like if you're married, especially like if you just have kids, off the rip, I know it sounds premature, but go get you a stay-away order. Get you a stay-away order, because a stay-away order will set boundaries with the man that you have kids with. So if the woman start to do things, automatically it's connected together. I believe this entire time, like, when it comes to my situation, I was reporting the things that she was doing, and I'm telling them like, hey, she's getting this information from my husband, but up until now, the DA's office down here is like, yeah, no, he's responsible too, because you guys are married. And like, I feel like that's where, like, she crossed the lines. Like, if that was my boyfriend, I wouldn't care. We were married for 24 hours and we're going through all of this now. And mind y'all, anybody who personally know me, I don't go through nothing. I have 3 kids' fathers. I don't go through nothing with none of them. The only reason our situation is as blown up as it is publicly is because of this specimen. And like I said, it's so sad and pathetic because one of my famous lines is, nobody is against the program. Nobody is above the program. Know where you fall at, but a man can do the dumbest things towards you, and they'll have someone that's at the bottom of the gutter feeling like they hold value over you. But again, them going through those personality issues, not understanding where they fall at, in a hierarchy, like, you'll find yourself going through situations like mine. However, advice for how to protect yourself. If your kid's father, if your spouse, if you're married, if you realize that that the other party, whether if you're a man, whether if you're a woman, if you start seeing the other party throwing out indirect jabs, get a stay away order. Do not give them the benefit of the doubt. Protect yourself from the very beginning, because again, you don't want to find yourself in a situation like mine, whereas though this woman constantly violates privacy, and then she utilized social media impersonation accounts and all of that to drive her force to making you miserable to try to be like her. But at the end of the day, it's your host, Your Highness Da Don, and at the end of the day, all you can do in this situation is never, I repeat, never allow someone with nothing to lose to make you lose your mind because they're nothing. Don't do that. Stay true to you. Stay true to yourself. Like I said, we're streaming every day. The streams every day is going to be shorter, but they're going to hit topics that are serious that's going on. But we're going to end it out with Zay. Y'all know how he is. Tune back in tomorrow. We're going to give another topic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my time has been running out. Yeah, you know the shit been new week.
Your time never running out.
Moving on my own, I know that I can never prove wrong. Maybe that's why I go in the booth and go and make these songs. So the bitch be careful with me, yeah. Ain't never tripping about your ex situation.
Don't
Just
trip
treat me
about
like a
nobody.
motor.
Remember who you are. You royalty. Don't let nobody tell you you're not. Especially somebody that's down there. Don't trust nobody. God always got plans for us like me. He gonna send you through something. Y'all gotta remember that. God put his best soldiers through it, so we can know what to look out for and how to guide our kids. Y'all know what's up. If they ain't treating you like you royalty, get on out of there. Don't give nobody the benefit of the doubt. Don't think twice. Like I said, protect yourself out here. And just stay safe. Protect yourself out here, stay safe. Be true to you. But we out. We be back tomorrow.